What's up, guys? Back again, the Horrorphile over here at Body Bags. We're doing another review today. Today is Tuesday. Today we're going to be reviewing a movie called Axe to Grind. Check it out.
Body Bags, where horror lies.
What's up, Body Bags? Coming back for another Tuesday review today. I'm reviewing a movie I just got done watching just now. Figured I might as well, since I hadn't had anything planned to review, I might as well go ahead and review this. This is a 2014 horror movie by the name of Axe to Grind. Sorry about the glare. Starring Debbie Rochon and Guy Torry. Debbie Rochon, well-known actress in the horror community. She's been in a ton of things. She is the main character in this movie. This was released by Midnight Releasing, which I have a lot of their stuff. But yeah, 2014 movie. Kind of get into the plot a little bit. Debbie Rochon is actually the main character. She plays technically or basically herself in this movie. She was married to this big time producer slash director, horror director, by the name of Peter. She comes to Peter's house one day to realize she wants to find out why he kicked her out. When she realizes that he's basically having sex and going behind her back with some of these younger actresses that he's trying to put in his films. At this point, it basically turns into a revenge movie. She just wants to kind of go after all these girls that he's putting in his movies because they're basically sleeping with them. She drugs Peter's drink and kind of ties him up because he's supposed to go to the set today and film all these women in this horror movie. He's supposed to film this horror movie. She drugs him, ties him up, kind of questions him. She ends up heading to the horror set, which is in this old abandoned mental hospital. And they encounter this kind of janitor guy that runs the place, and he's kind of a weird guy. And he has this collection of axes, which is really odd. He's just obsessed with axes. And then it kind of just turns into a revenge movie. It's considered like a slasher movie, I guess. People start getting picked off one by one, by her. And it kind of tells you the lore of why she's like this later on in the movie. You kind of don't really know. She's very, you can tell she's crazy. She's hearing voices in her head, but you don't really know why. And she's just very upset about the whole Peter situation, her husband. Kind of get into my thoughts about this. I did enjoy the effects of this movie. There was a few CGI blood, spray scenes or whatever, splatter scenes. Most of the effects in this movie were practical. A couple of things I did not like about this movie. I did also enjoy the plot. I mean, the plot was generic for what it was, but it was still entertaining. It kept me kind of involved the whole time. I still wanted to watch it. Deborah Rochon's acting was kind of spotty, but it was for the most part it was there. The things I did not like about this movie, I thought most of the acting in this movie was just really, really kind of it seemed forced and they didn't really try. A lot of the younger actresses in this movie, the acting was just not really horrendous, but it wasn't great at all. It just seemed like they weren't trying, if you ask me. It seems like they just kind of started throwing something together and just saying stuff. Debbie Rochon's acting at the beginning of the movie, throughout the first half of the movie was and then it kind of got a little bit better toward the end because you could tell toward the end she was kind of getting more into the plot or how the direction of the movie was going. And that was another thing about the movie, that I did enjoy the plot, but at the same time it was kind of a clusterfuck. Honestly, that's really the only thing I could really call it. There's just a clusterfuck of stuff going on. I didn't really understand. They're supposed to be on this movie set filming a movie, but they literally didn't do any of that pretty much the entire time. You saw one scene where they're filming a movie. It was basically them just hanging out in this mental institution and them getting picked off one by one and not even noticing any of them were missing. So it was just kind of, I don't know. It was very generic, kind of thrown together. There were some funny lines in this movie, kind of funny plot points. I did enjoy the guy that was the director of the movie that they were directing. He was he was pretty funny. I thought he was probably one of the more entertaining characters in the whole movie. The actresses in this movie are really, really pretty. The younger actresses, they actually are really nice to look at. That was another really good good point of the movie. They were nice to look at for the most part. it just kind of, for me, I guess, overall feeling of the movie, definitely super, not super low budget, but low budget. Acting, the actresses, and some of the actors didn't even really try. There was there was a couple of actors, like there's one of the guys, the director, the guy that played the director. I thought his acting was pretty good. Deborah Shawn's acting was decent, and then there was another guy. His acting was all right. Most of the other actresses, their acting was just really bad. Like the dialogue and stuff that they were given was pretty rough. But at the same time, I did find it somewhat entertaining. I did not mind the acting as much because the effects were pretty cool. The kills were kind of generic. I mean, it's axe. I mean, obviously there's axe to grind. A lot of axe kills, which they weren't the greatest at all whatsoever. But if I was to rate this movie, I would probably give this movie a 5.5 out of 10. It was definitely entertaining, but at the same time, there's certain points that I was kind of just like, I don't know. So I mean, if you get a chance, maybe check it out. It may be worth you guys, watching if you guys like stuff like this. I enjoy movies like this, even with the acting and sometimes the effects can be bad. I really kind of like stuff like this. I think it's really fun to watch. But yeah, check it out. 5.5 out of 10. Axe to grind. Like and subscribe to the page. Like my videos. Subscribe to the page. Head on over to the Horrorphile, which is my other channel. That's my personal channel. I'll leave a link down below. Like and subscribe to that page. And until next Tuesday, guys. Peace.